Hey guys, welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today I want to talk about one of the up-and-coming heroes, in my opinion, one of the heroes which is really making a name for herself on the big scene and with some big players and some big plays, is Kerrigan. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kerrigan is a melee assassin. She plays very, very uniquely. A lot of the melee assassins have a problem that they tend to play in the very same style, and towards the end game they lack survivability or escape. Kerrigan does not have these problems. As a result, and plus her early game, which I'll talk about in a second, she is seeing a surge in popularity. And I'm not very good with Kerrigan, but I know why I should be good at Kerrigan, what I can do to be good at Kerrigan. So basically what I'm going to do today is standard with most of these guys. I'm going to go over a build, the most common, best build, and I'm going to talk about how to play this character, and more specifically with Kerrigan, I'm actually going to go into the specifics about when to use your abilities. So first off, let's go over her abilities really quick. With your Q, you jump to a target, deal a surprisingly big hit, and if it kills it, it's instantly reset. You can use this to clear minion waves. I wouldn't recommend it, because it will rinse your mana so fast. You can only cast it 10 times before you're out of mana, and in an average minion wave, there is 7 mobs. So with one minion wave, if you ravage everything, you'll be down to basically no mana. And as a result, as you see with Kerrigan, you need mana because you need to have that kind of burst mana spend, and you need to have that in your arsenal to pull off at a moment's notice. A W is an AoE effect after a short delay of about... I'm guessing now about 0.75 seconds? Something like that. It's a delay. You'll get used to it. It's similar to how two-round stun works. Thingies, spikes come out the ground, impale people, and stun them for 1 second. The stun is the big deal. And you have E, which is the complete opposite of Sergeant Hammer's Q, where it pushes them away. It drags them towards you. I can show you what the W looks like. Looks like that, and of course that's the delay. And then the E looks like that, and the E has a very tiny delay on it as well. When the spikes come up, they don't drag you, and then they start coming towards you. So if you're really good, you can avoid those. And Ravage, you can't really do anything about Ravage. It's targeted. It's not a skill shot. It's a targeted ability. Jumps on whoever. So that's her abilities. But as you can probably tell already, there's quite the combination for the combo isn't there. As you can see, if there was a person anywhere in this zone, they would have got stunned, unless they were like right here, in which case the grass would have knocked them free. But that is basically how you play Kerrigan. What you'll hear a lot of Kerrigan players, a lot of really good Kerrigan players talking about, is landing the combo. The combo is getting into a good position, throwing down impaling spikes first, and then using your primal grasp to drag them onto your spikes. This only ever really works if the person is running in a predictable fashion, and that fashion is in a linear direction away from you. What that means is, don't cast it if you're here and they're running this way. If you're here where Kerrigan is right now, and then they're running this way, don't try and get them. But if you're here and they're running away from you, then try and get them. Or if they're running anyway, away from you is obviously going to be the easiest to hit. But play it like Illidan. You have to be patient with it. You have to sit, wait, get autos off, use Ravage, make sure you have enough mana, and then when they start running away from you, W, E, get them, stun them, kill them. If you get good at that combo, you will get 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 kills in the early game. Like, you will get so many kills in the early game, and you will get a massive lead going into the mid game, and that's really where Kerrigan's strength really, really lies. In the late game, she tends to drop off, and she transitions into her end game form, which is very different, but still revolves around the same kind of stance. And basically, a lot of people call Kerrigan a one-trick pony. I disagree. I think that towards the late game she has incredible potential, but in the early game when ganking, she is queen. She is just amazing. So anyway, the build is going to be surprising for what people would expect. So people would think, oh, clearly you want to get sharpened blades here. Not necessarily true, and in my opinion, it's not true either. Sharpened blades is good. If you're really lacking damage, you can go for it. But the problem with your sharpened blades is basically it should be the case of if you land that stun, you should kill them. 20% extra damage on one of your abilities, which doesn't hit that hard. It hits fairly hard, but it's not like it shouldn't, like 20% extra damage shouldn't make or break a kill. So you shouldn't need it. It shouldn't be like, oh, if we don't have Untitled talent, we're not going to get any kills. That's not going to happen, or it shouldn't happen. What will make a difference is Ravage healing you. 10% of your HP is quite a lot. So I would definitely recommend taking Siphoning Impact, particularly for the start of your game. Now, you do not want to be in a lane as Kerrigan. She is so strong roaming. So as a result, these two are kind of, no. And you don't need block because the survivability comes elsewhere. So, Siphoning Impact, great. And as you can see, yeah, it does heal you. So if somehow you find yourself at maximum mana with like a Malfurion in lane and low on HP, you can just Ravage in a time minion wave and heal literally 70% of your HP over the course of one minion wave. Because if it kills it, it gets reset, heals you for 10% time it hits. So yeah, it can get out of control, but don't use it like that. Use it for ganking. A Ravage should just be used to get into position to gank them if they try and knock you away or whatever. I prefer to use it like Zeratil's Blink. When you use it, don't use it to escape, but you use it as kind of a re-engage sometimes, or Illidan's W, or the Root, or whatever you want to call it. Walk up to them and auto them, and then Ravage if they manage to get separation from you. Don't use it to engage. That's my. Some people will say use it to engage all the time. Fair enough. I'm not very good at Kerrigan. That's what I do. Level 4. Level 4 is a different one, a difficult one. You can go with Clean Kill, because it means that you can do that kill all the minions, and it doesn't, because it restores 100% of the mana cost, so you can just kill everything and it's not a problem. I don't really like it. I also don't like Fury of the Swarm, because I think it's incredibly dumb. Basic attacks, while it's cool, it's around Kerrigan, not around the target, so you have to be in a place that will make it worth it, and you're not going to be in that position a lot. Envenom is good, because of course it's Envenom. But again, in my opinion, you should be getting these kills anyway. And what I really like is Psionic Pulse, because if you're in a team fight, so 27 damage, 5 seconds, that's over 100 damage. This is 300 damage. So as you can see, Envenom will deal a lot more damage, but it's 6-second cooldown, and it lasts 10 seconds, and all that stuff. But Psionic Pulse will just deal so much more damage over the course of one Envenom cooldown. So I really like Psionic Pulse, because it gets really good in the late game, and Envenom, in my opinion, just doesn't. So I like Psionic Pulse. At level 7, it's a good one, I think, and it's the start of you easing into your mid and late game form. And with this one, you take Assimilation Mastery. Now, just read this for a second. Assimilation Shields, which is something I didn't mention because I'm really bad at making videos. Basically, Kerrigan's trait is whenever she deals basic attack, she gains a shield for 6 seconds, 10%. So it's not that much, but and there's a maximum based on what level you're at. But with this talent, God, I couldn't remember what it was called there. With this talent, whenever you attack something, for the next 6 seconds you will gain 100% of regen and of both health and mana, which is good, because it means that if you can continuously attack a wall, or a minion, or a neutral creep, anything, you will gain regen, which means that Kerrigan has an incredible amount of sustain. And it is 100%, it's not like Rhaegar's, which is only 75%, it's 100%. So she's really going to be regenerating fast, and it kind of solves a lot of her problems that she can have in the late game. But it does mean that you sacrifice a level 7 power spike, as much as you could take Impaling Swarm, or you could take Battle Momentum. Instead, you take Assimilation Mastery. It's more of a late game talent. At level 10, this is where things get interesting, because a lot of people like the Ultralisk, and I do kind of like the Ultralisk. It got fixed in the last patch, so it's very, very good. I still don't like it. I think Maelstrom is just better. The reason for this is because if you look at Maelstrom, it's a small damage around you, and it's continuous damage. 120 damage per second for 7 seconds. It hits like a truck. And if you have someone like an Uther or a Rhaegar or even a Charism, someone who can just stick with you, you can ravage into the middle of a team fight. Forget the combo. You can just like W, because as you can see, W has a significantly shorter range than Q, so you can throw down a W where you know they're going to be, hit them with the stun, jump in on the whole team, pop your ultimate, Psionic, Primal Grasp nothing, Primal Grasp the one person who's running away in the weird angle, and everyone's going to take so much damage. And if you can survive throughout that, which you will be able to by the late game, so strong, so much more potential than what the Ultralisk will do. But please bear in mind, when you use this, you will be in the enemy team. As a result, you can die really quickly. Before you decide to use Maelstrom, make sure that there is someone in there with you, or is in range to help you out. Healer, tank, knockback assassin, zoner, anyone. Just do not pop Maelstrom when you're the first person in there. When you're the most advanced person in your team and you're going to overextend even more, don't do it. Use it late. In my opinion, it's much better to come out of a team fight having not used this and won it than going in, popping it early, getting loads of damage off, and then dying. That's how I play it. And that's how I've seen quite a lot of pros do it. Level 13, you start to get a feel for the build. This is Lingering Essence. The other ones are... I really like Queen's Rush, but it's just not very good compared. So, Assimilation Shield duration to 20 seconds. This means that now, whenever you attack anything, wall, mob, neutral creep, you will gain 100% regen for 20 seconds. This means you basically have 100% up. If you're going 20 seconds without damaging something, unless you're backing to base or going to an objective, even then, if you're doing 20 seconds without damaging something, you're doing it wrong as an assassin. So you should always have 100% uptime on. So basically, you're regenerating 100% quicker, almost 90% of the time. That's crazy strong, right? That's ridiculous. So that's why those two really go hand in hand very, very well together. And the other ones just don't really match up. And of course, in the late game, this gets a little bit silly because when you have this 100% increased shields. So what this means is that now, if Kerrigan is allowed to sit back and stack up her shields on anyone, the boss mob, your wave clear, your fort or your keep, or your tank who's overextended and popped every ability to keep himself alive, she's going to have so much shield that she's basically going to be like an off tank at this point. And so if she's an off tank with assistance, because the enemy team's going to have to come in to deal with, and she has Maelstrom, so you can't even. Oh, she's just incredibly strong. And at this point in the game, she can just deal so much damage. The combo's still incredibly viable for anyone overextended or out of the line. She can just, in the middle of a team fight, Q, W, E, combo, and they're just dead. Like in the middle of a team fight. And because if you time it really well, if you use Q really well, you can get the kill and then you can ravage back in. The plays are crazy on Kerrigan. But yeah, with this shield, you take 100% increased shield, so that means that you're now gaining 20% of your shield's damage. But it stacks after that, but it's basically 20% of your basic attack damage. So if you're in the fight for a little while before you start taking damage, you're going to have so much shield, you're basically going to be impossible to kill. If you have a healer or a tank who knows what they're doing, that's the important part. And at level 20, you can either take a Megastorm. I really like a Megastorm. It means that your shields go up even more. That means you're generating like 300% of the amount of shields you would normally generate. And it hits like loads, so you're generating so much shield. So it's actually really difficult to kill Kerrigan when she's got a Maelstrom, or in this case, a Megastorm up. And of course, more people are getting hit by it because it's bigger. Nexus Blades, which is just more damage on the basic attacks. Or Bolt of the Storm if you find yourself really getting dived. You shouldn't really ever be getting dived. A Megastorm is the go-to talent here. So I've already gone over her early game, but let's just recap it. You roam anyone who's overextended, specialists and assassins first. If I can get Arthur to run away, which I probably can't. But basically, if you're in this position, you just basic attack. And as you can see, like, she gains these shield. This is what the shield is up here. And against people like Arthur, I know you're at level 20 now, but the shield is going to help you massively. And as soon as they're running away... Oh, I missed him! I'm so bad at video games. But yeah, that was what the... See, I'm not very good at Kerrigan. But that's what the combo should have been. I can't believe I missed him. That was so close to me. But anyway, so as you can see, it's not always as 100% as that. I hit him with the Primal Grasp, which meant I should have hit him with the spikes. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite pull that one off. Did I get him with that one? Yeah, I got him with that one. See, that's what it looks like. And at level 1, if you're up against someone who has no escape, which is a surprising amount of heroes don't have, they just have no escape, you'll just get kills. Done. In the mid-game, you want to keep doing that, but get involved in team fights. Before level 10, if you're up at level 8 or level 9, you want to try and duke team fights for as long as possible. You don't really have the massive advantage there, in all honesty. Once you hit level 10, you do, and then you want to try jumping in with some help from a tank or from a healer or someone. Oh, that was good. I'm happy with that one. Maelstrom, get him? Yeah, I'm the best at this game. Yeah, so at level 10, you want to start jumping in and making sure again that you have cover. Because she's a melee assassin, just because she has big AoE damage that is around her doesn't mean that she instantly becomes a tank. A lot of people tend to forget this. Be patient with Kerrigan. See stuff like that, you can do that in the mid and late game, where you don't bother with the combo, you just use it to land a stun on someone, and the damage. Like that's entirely fine. But just be careful when you're doing that. And in the late game, just keep doing what you're doing in the mid game, but don't be afraid to peel off and go and get a kill on someone. At level 16 plus, you're going to be dealing so much damage and getting so much shield. It's so difficult to deal with you in any situation, so just, yeah, keep doing that. Kerrigan's a crazy fun hero. Once you get good with her, she's really, really strong. She's up there with Illidan, Zeratul, just a really, really high skill cap. And yeah, she's crazy fun. Learn to do the combo, pull it off consistently, and you'll find yourself having a lot of fun and getting a lot of kills with Kerrigan. Play her cautiously, don't overextend, and if you're popping a Maelstrom, make sure you have some form of resistance whenever you do so. I have been Mr. G. This has been a Kerrigan guide. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.